Howdy, folks. This is Simmon again with another live self-commentary from the 2021 Chandrian Invitational Tournament, the 7x7 TAC tournament. So today my opponent is fwwwwwibib, who I will from now on refer to as Fwib. He was the winner of the 2020 USTA Open. Solid player, one of the absolute top players, if not the top, who knows? And I have to play him today in sevens. Now, I haven't played sevens since my last tournament match, and that has been quite a while, over a week, I think, maybe two, and I just haven't played any sevens. And so my motivation for playing sevens is actually pretty down. And yeah, we'll see how that affects the gameplay. It doesn't help that I'm playing against Fwib, so I know I'm not going to win. Okay, so I have a strong feeling that I won't win. I can't say I know because anything can happen in tech. And yeah, so we will be playing that here momentarily. Once the seat goes up and Fwib is ready, we will be doing the 7x7 game, and I will give you some live commentary, hopefully a little insight into how my brain works in what sort of moves I am making, and whether or not you learn something good from that or learn something about what not to do. That is going to be seen pretty soon. All right, so let's get started. All right, and the seek is up. We are ready to play. And I guess we're just waiting on Fwib to make the first move since he is playing as white. We'll see if he plays the standard, well, not standard, the Archvenison opening of placing a capstone right in the center on the first move. I'm going to go adjacent corners. And we'll see how he goes for the center square with a flat. And I kind of like that better. I think the capstone is strong, but I like the flat there because it gives your capstone a little bit more time to build up. Okay, so we're seeing some horizontal play. And so right now you see me playing very quickly. I'm mainly just getting some pieces on the board. Now this is where I might want to change my tune a little bit. And so I'm going to move across here horizontally as well, not move on this direction, which is what my initial move was going to be. He's probably going to place here. But what I've done by building up here is I've made it so I can come down and come across and basically interrupt all these threads that he's got building. And once that happens, I can make my own threads. And so I'm going to be forced to capture here on the next move, probably. Yeah, so I will not capture yet. I will capture on the next move. Because this isn't a forced capture yet. It'll be forced capture once he places here at f6. And then I'll probably come down with d6 to d5. Okay. Yep, so there's my forced capture coming down. Now, I want him to move up with this, but he may move across. And if he does move across, I'll move over. I'm going to fill in with a capstone. And so what I've done by making this first capture move up here and guaranteeing a recapture is I made it so I can get in with a capstone. Now, he might not recapture. He might not capture this piece. He may place a capstone here. He may place a flat here. It is unknown at this point. And so this is going to be the first real, like, big part of the game, big decision, because this is the first capture and the first liability that I've given myself, where I've got a white flat, an opposing flat underneath one of my own. So he goes for a placement instead. I don't like that he went for a placement instead. I'm actually going to go preemptively with a capstone here. Now, if he captures this spot, I do want to fill in. I do want to fill in with a capstone. This is a attack threat. So if he comes across here or comes down, that is attack threat. So I am going to hard cap. Now, Fwib recently has been practicing against Tactician Bot, and he has won a couple games as black against Tactician Bot. Now, Tactician Bot is the toughest bot out there, and winning as black is really, really difficult against Tactician, and so the fact that he's done it a couple times fairly recently is pretty incredible. So we are seeing another tack threat here. I don't like that. Why do you have to make these tack threats? Oh, this is not going well for me. Not at all. Yeah, so I will fill in for the moment. And if he builds down here, that's another tack threat, going vertically this time. And I will probably have to capture over with this. So we'll see how that works out. He does go, and so I will capture over. Now at this point, he may place here. He may capture. I doubt he's going to capture because he wants to keep this capstone sort of semi-pinned. Keep me from doing too much there. So I will capture over with that, and we'll see how his reaction is going to be. I can make attack threat if I place here on the next turn, assuming he doesn't do anything with this. But I imagine I won't have the ability to make that attack threat on the next turn, because something will have changed. And that's sort of the beauty of attack, is that it changes so much as the game goes on. All right, what did he do? He played at F1, so that is another attack threat. Man, he is relentless with these. Just really going for it. Okay, so there is an option here. And so what I'm thinking of being able to move maybe this capstone, the whole stack up. Now, that does make attack threat for me, but it also gives him the ability to sort of cancel that. And so I'm wondering how he'll respond. He can respond in a number of different ways, by capturing at D5 or by capturing at F5. F5 capture is probably what I'm expecting, or he might just place a capstone at G5. If he places a capstone at G5 in response to that move, that is going to be very difficult to come back from. I imagine, yeah, that would be bad. So I probably can't make that move simply because of that capstone at G5 potential. Oh, what to do? What to do? What to do? All right, I'm gonna have to do it. So I'm gonna capture over instead. That's going to be my move. So I was thinking about doing this, but I think that a capstone here would have just been too tough for me to come back from. Like I would have captured down, and then he would have placed here, but it would have been a lot of liabilities, I think. Maybe it would have been the best move, but I'm not sure. Like I can see it being a strong move, but I can also see it being a huge liability later on. Kind of wishing I had done it anyway. Just to see where that would have gone. All right, so now that I made that move, maybe he was expecting my capstone to go up, and then he had a plan for it with that other capstone move, or another move that was smarter, more clever. Now we see a capstone come out from Fwib. Now, here is where I'm thinking, okay, so if I take this and I move it here, basically if I move F3 to F4, he can place here with another flat or a capstone or whatever and make this tack threat that goes horizontally, and I'll have to respond. If I move up now, I make the tack threat and he has to respond. I am considering the move. It probably would have been better if I had just taken it before. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I probably should have done it on the previous turn, but I like the opportunity that I've been given. So I expect to capture probably along here, maybe even a wall here or a capstone. Like I can see a capstone being a solid move there, just like I expected. And now I will capture here to make another threat. I clearly did not think that through. Okay, so I am in trouble. I am in very much trouble indeed. Okay. Now, my first thought was to place a capstone here, but then he can just keep his own capstone there and fortify his position and eventually maintain control over this stack. I'm going to do it anyway. It's a really bad move. Oh man. I do want to make a good video, good content. Placing a capstone here is not a great move. It gives him a lot of power placing it at G6 or G5. What would he do in that case? What would he do? If I placed the capstone, he would probably flat right here, which would give him attack threat going this way and attack threat going that way, and that would be Tinue. So I won't do that. If I place a capstone here at E4, yeah, so I did recognize the Tinue threat if I did that. If I place it E4, he can throw this capstone down to make a Tinue threat as well. Is there no way out for me? Um, there is a way out for me. I think my only move might be to place a capstone on F3. I think that's the only one that doesn't lead to basically an automatic Tinue. But I think everything else is really close. Like, if I had done basically any other move here, I think it would have been Tinue, because he can throw this stack down, white here, and we'll cap here and white here. That would be vertical and horizontal threat. Also just capturing down, vertical, horizontal threat, like a lot of things that he can do to make that happen for him. And now I have to come across basically get rid of my own horizontal path in order to take out his. So, not a great series of moves for me. A great series of moves for fwwwwwibib, though. He is proving himself to be definitely the stronger player here. Let's see how this turns out. Okay, so we see... I don't like that. Stop making good moves. I don't appreciate this. Fine. Throw up a wall. So now that I have a little bit of breathing room, he's not making a direct tag threat, I can throw up a wall here to cover up and to interrupt his threat. So now he's probably thinking about what to do about that, because clearly his other option was to come down with this, and I did not want him to do that. And he may still do it. No, he doesn't. He goes this route, which is attack threat. Of course it is. Of course it's attack threat. Now, the question is, how do I respond to this tag threat? The tag threat, again, is from G7 coming down all the way to F1. And so that's by moving this capstone, leaving one flat behind, and moving the capstone onto F4. I don't want to move that. Let's see. If I move this capstone up, that does cut off the threat. But it does allow him to make that threat. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Moving my capstone up. So I have two hard caps. I feel like in another situation, that would be really good. I don't feel like it is the case in this particular situation. I think that I am going to have quite a bit of trouble. But we shall see. All right, so another important thing to note is I do have 3 komi, but even with 3 komi, I think I'm still way behind on flats. I have 7, and fwwwwwib has 12, so 3 komi 12 to 10. So he is still way up on flats. I do have some solid plus to flat moves that I can make, but I really have one that I can make with these, but I don't know if that's, I don't know if flats is going, if it's flats is going to actually come into play in this game. I have a feeling fwwwwwib will come up with some way to win against me with a road, whether it be with a Tinue that he almost got me with a moment ago, or by doing something like that. So this is a attack threat horizontally. I will capture here. And so the reason I captured there with that particular flat is it connects to this line, so I can continue on with a vertical threat or a horizontal threat. He made it again. Fine, I'll go here, then he'll place here or something. I'm not a fan. I don't like it when he makes good moves. It makes it harder for me to win when he plays better than I do. I know that's hard to it's hard to make sense in your mind, but when he plays better than I do, he wins. Yeah, it's a novel concept, I'm sure. So we'll see how this works out. He will likely start placing down here below. I can see it possible that he could crush this after he... Yeah, there he goes. He crushed it. Of course he crushed it. Because that is the ideal play. And it is not Tinue, but it is Very close. Okay, so the reason why I say it's very close is because let's say I make a capture down here. He can capture it with his capstone and leave behind a flat. He can capture up, he can place flats. He can basically continue on this horizontal threat. And I can say, okay, I'll use my capstone here and throw it down to interrupt. That doesn't work because then this capstone can come down and make the connection that way. So he has quite a few options, and I have very few. So if I were to play aggressively, which I would not recommend to myself, I would place it like G7 or G4, sorry, G4 for example, and then he would make his move, which would probably be a B2 plus, which would be attack threat, and then I would move down with B4, and he would end up capturing that either with his capstone or something else. I would be forced to wall. He would place another flat. I would be forced to wall again. How would I do that? How? Yeah, it would ultimately be bad for me if I did that, if I played that aggressively. He did smash the wall. How do I come back from this? I am very behind. Now, Fwib is playing way too good of a game right now. It is not allowed. It's not allowed, Fwib. So I'm going to place a wall there because I don't see a way out of this eventually becoming so heavily in his favor without me dropping a wall right there. I just don't see it happening. Okay, and here goes that. So if he plays... Okay, so I'm thinking here. If I take the wall and I move it onto B2, then he could throw his capstone over and leave behind a white flat onto C3, and then drop his capstone at B3, which would be attack threat and would require me to capture with my C4 down. And then I capture a C4 down, he moves his capstone over on top of that stack, and then he has the ability to throw up on that. I mean, I think I'm going to have to do it anyway. Or, if I do that, would he leave behind a black flat, maybe? Don't feel like that would be the play. No, I'm doing it. I don't think this is going to work out well for me. But I don't know how much I can actually do here. I do have to stop this tack threat without wall. Now, Fwib, I have to imagine he's going to take this stack and lob it over. So take all three. So basically 3D3 to the left, 1, 2. Yep, that's what I expected. Then I come down with this. He comes over with the capstone. Then I drop a wall here so he can't throw it up. No, wait, I can't drop a wall here. So now I have to come here, and then he throws the capstone up and covers up my flats, or just starts building along the bottom. He can do a few things here. But he is definitely in control. I believe. So now I know how my wife feels when she plays against me in TAC. This is a similar difference in skill level, I believe. And now I understand why she gets so frustrated and does not want to play with me. Because it's an exercise in futility. Let's see. What's he gonna do? Also, I will note that I only have now a flat count of 5, and his is 11. Okay, so here's another tag threat. And I clearly have to respond with another wall. Because he can move it across, and I can't do anything with these to stop him. So he comes over. That happened. I guess I wall again. I think that's my only option there. He builds here with a B2, a flat on B2 to continue his road threat. Maybe that's what he does. Or maybe he builds here at E3. I don't know what I'd do if he built at E3. I guess I would just wall here. I would just be throwing walls everywhere. Already way behind on flat count. Just trying to keep myself from getting Tinue'd at this point. If I can force it to a flat win condition, I would consider that a win for me, even though I would lose. I would consider that to be a feather in my cap of surviving until flats with whip in this. Oh man. So all you people out there who's saying I'm very good at TAC and how I'm so great, yeah, I may be in the top 10, but there is a big difference between the top 3 players out there and pretty much everyone else. Okay. Here's where the fun starts. No, I don't want to. Do I place another wall? Is that what I have to do here? No, I will not. I will make his capture instead to give him even more flats to work with. Now I imagine he will build here at B2, which would be attack threat for him crushing. And then when I guess move this wall over to D2, he'd just build here at B1, which would be moving around the walls, but also building this vertical threat where he can throw his capstone up and cover up all those. No, instead he doesn't do that. He goes for that move. Now he's going to do that. So now that he's placed it there, he will make that move. Okay, so in that case, I'm just going to wall here. And then now we'll see the B2. Okay, this might be a Tinue pattern. don't think it's going to be a Tinue pattern exactly, but it's definitely losing for me. I think I'm going to end up with a flat count of 2 by the end of this sequence. I'll place here at B. He'll place here at B2. I'll move this wall over. He will place at B1. I will place a wall at C7. Then he will build at D6. I'll probably have to wall again. Yeah. So if you're looking for really solid gameplay, this is not it. This is just pure domination. So I will do a count here. I'm certain he can make this throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, he can't make the throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is where he has to leave behind, so he can move up, leave a white here, and go up 2. So he can't make that throw completely. But here's the question. If I place a flat there, which is what I want to do because I want to be able to connect to A7 maybe, and then try to go for my own road. If I place a flat there, and he decides to just go for it and tosses up, leaving that one behind. What do I do in that case? What do I do? All right, I'm doing it. I think that I think he's going to make a clever move here that's going to give him Tinue. But I'm pretty sure I counted this correctly. He cannot win here. But I will continue to try and build this out. Try to make this horizontal threat happen. The odds of it happening are so slim. It's essentially 0. Just because of his own positioning that he's got. Okay, so my first instinct is to place here. But if I do that, he comes over with that. So I place there. He will come over and then make that tack threat by capturing C7. Then I'll have to capture C7 with C6. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm pretty positive there's not Tinue there. Pretty positive. Yeah. I'm he can get close, but the fact that I have this capstone here. Oh no. I think it is Tinue. I think I may have missed the Tinue. Yes, yes I did, didn't I? No, no I didn't. Maybe I did. It's hard to say. Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing? Am I missing something? Why did he place there? Why did he place there? Oh, I am very sorry for the poor showing on my part. At least you're getting basically a masterclass in what Fwib is doing. I wish we could see inside Fwib's brain and hear his self-commentary. Oh, and there we go. All right, so this is not even a attack threat, unless I'm mistaken. Pretty sure it's not attack threat. I don't know why he made that particular move. 6c4 plus. All right, what am I missing? What am I missing? Is he trying to bait out my capstone moving from e5 so I can miss that potential and miss that and lose? Is that what he's trying to do? It's the only thing that I can think of right now. Hmm. 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 All right, I'm not taking any chances. Not taking any chances. Moving this wall over. Thought about just placing here, but didn't go for that. I feel like that would eventually end up in me losing to a road. Interestingly, Fwib has not played any walls this game. Okay, so he definitely did not want me to get that stack. This is not great for me. Hmm. So if I move b6 to b7, he will place at b6, which would be attack threat for him. Not a fan of that. I'll move up with the wall. Because he doesn't have attack threat yet. But I can move up with the wall and eventually move over here. He does have this citadel that he can easily maneuver around that with, but I just don't know what else to do at this point. I feel like I am really like without any luck here. So, he's really done a great job because he can really set me up here really quickly for a Tinue setup. Um, I do have all these walls that sort of stop that from happening. Hmm. I don't think he'll place here. I don't think that would be that great of a move. He's he might be considering even just smashing this wall because I can't do anything with these flats. I can't continue a road in this direction. I can't go down. I wouldn't be able to go very far up. He'd just be able to come back and win the game basically. I would have to go across with it if I wanted to cut off the immediate tech win. It's honestly not that bad of a move. It's risky, but it's not that bad of a move. But he can probably do something else instead. He might want to place here at A5. That would give him sort of this double line here, which means the one wall could never completely take over it um, until I got across here, and then I could get back here and get a black flat underneath the wall. But that would take some doing, and he might be able to finagle a win out of here pretty quick. I am looking at the time here. We got almost 9 minutes on his clock. We got 6 minutes on mine. He placed it C3 instead. What's he doing? What's he doing? Oh, he's making it so when I come over, you can just fill in. Hmm. The smart thing to do would be to play a wall here at A5. But I feel like that's just delaying the inevitable. I might as well be aggressive while I lose. I will aggressively lose. I don't think I'm going to sneak any sort of win past Fwib here. But, you can't say it didn't work if you didn't try, right? So, man, the flat differential is so ridiculous. Like, oh, let's just try to count, okay? I know I've got 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. Fwib has Fwib has 18, I think. I think he's got 18. He's got more than double my flats. Uh, so with my komi, I have 10 flats. He's only 8 above me. Okay, so we're doing this thing. I mean, he can clearly make attack threat just by capturing B6 with B7. Not only does it cut off my threat, my immediate not even threat, my 2 move from now threat, it gives him an immediate attack threat. If he captures down, I capture over. I suddenly have a 2-piece there. His move might be to move this capstone stack over to the left to keep me from throwing it down and ruining this line, which is what I would do. And if he did that, he would be in trouble. So he's probably not going to capture down with b6 because that's how that would play out. That's probably what he already found out 30 seconds ago when he was looking at this. What to do as fwib? He could move this whole stack over. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got a full stack of 7 there. No, he smashes. He does the smash move that I was hoping he wouldn't do. So that's attack threat. Now I can stop his immediate attack threat. I can stop the immediate attack threat if I move the stack over. Now, if I move the stack over, it's not a threat for me. He moves his own stack up, his capstone. If his capstone stack is there, there's nothing I can do, and that's basically Tinue. I would have to throw my wall. Okay, so basically what I'm thinking is, if I move this stack, leaving 1 here, move the whole thing over here, I can threaten to run this down. He moves this whole stack on the capstone right here, which would basically be Tinue, except for the fact that I can throw this over here to stop it, but then that would actually leave a connection here for him to make a road horizontally from that side. So really, after I did this throw here and he moved the capstone there, would it be Tinue? No, I would be able to throw my capstone over to cover up on b5. This is getting insane. To cover up on b5, he could then move his capstone over from f5 to e5, leaving a white behind, making a horizontal and vertical road threat. And then I would be forced to move my capstone across, and then things get funky. Let's do it. I like it when things get funky. Funky things are fun. I looked ahead at this, I think, 4 moves? I looked at it, I think 5 ply, which is like 2 moves. 2 to 3 moves. So, we'll see how far fwib looks at this. Probably a lot more. Okay. That was my move. Oh no, that is... Yeah, that's the win for him. I missed that. Good game, fwib. I'm really smart. I'm very smart. I didn't think of him leaving behind the white piece there. I thought of him moving the whole stack. Yep. I am brilliant. Good game, fwib. Oh, well, that was today's live self-commentary for the Chandrian Invitational 7x7s. Please come on PlayTac and play some games, get really good, and then beat fwib for me, because I don't know if that's going to be able to happen for me in the near future. So you guys get better. come out there and avenge me. Avenge me, my Tacholites. All right, and that is it for me today. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.